Hello again YouTube and welcome back to Just Get a Tesla. This is the third introduction to this video that I have shot, as this video has evolved as the snow has kept falling. Yes everybody, it's Ian's adventures in the snow with a Tesla. The eagle-eyed of you will be looking and saying, hey, isn't that the same jumper he was wearing in the last video? And yes it is, because I'm shooting this immediately after shooting the last video. This is Saturday and this video is going to go out on Friday of next week as I'm recording it. And it is very, very, very snowy outside. And it has been very, very, very snowy actually for quite a long time now. Here in Scotland, we have had a big dump of snow, which has then turned to ice, and then more snow, and then more snow, and over the last few days, it has literally frozen everything solid. We've had clear skies, we've had all kinds of exciting weather forecasts. I mean, minus 20 degrees was the forecast for a couple of nights ago. I don't think it quite got there, it certainly didn't here, but minus 6, minus 7, every night, and even in the daytime, it's only warmed up to maybe 1 degree, right, in the last week. So, in this ridiculously powerful all-wheel drive Tesla, can you get around in the snow? So I've done a few bits of video over the last few weeks while I've been getting around, and I'm going to put the best of those together, because the video that I started off shooting, I needed to then adapt because of events. And then the video that I started shooting for the second one, I've decided I need to adapt because of events. It's actually snowing again now. I'm shod in Cross Climate tyres by Michelin, so we have got some nice, proper, grippy tread on those for chopping through the snow. And the other one is, I now know how the off-road mode works to make it that we have got both motors running at once. Let's do a bit of testing and get this thing out. But before we do, we're going to have to defrost the car. So as you can see, we have got, let's stick a finger in it. Ooh, actually we've got quite a bit of snow built up on there. So let's get the app running and let's get this started. So going into the app, I have gone into climate and I have turned climate on. So basically the car is set to 20 degrees. So the heating is coming on. As you can hear, the fan is blowing away and it is warming the seats. It's got the rear screen defroster going and it's blowing some warm air on the front. What I haven't done, and this is important, do not do this. Do not hit the defrost car button. Too many people have had the experience of understanding the laws of thermodynamics. What happens when a very cold thing and a very hot thing meet? And if it's glass, the answer is if you don't want to crack your windscreen or your roof, do not use the defrost car button. It's just too efficient. It puts too much heat out too quickly and basically is a risk. I have seen picture after picture after picture on Facebook of people who've done that. Take a bit longer, put your climate control on and let the thing warm slower. All of the snow has been swept off the car using my soft brush thing, and basically the car has been warming itself, and you can hear the fans are still blowing on the front. The car is warming itself without cracking any of the windows. The next problem that people talk about sometimes when it comes to the winter is these door handles. They can freeze up. Now in my case, it isn't frozen, it's working just fine. But let's show you what to do if it is. If you find that your doors are iced up, the other option that you have got is on the app, there is a button that you can have installed as a shortcut, which will just pop the driver's door open a little. Okay, the car is loaded and ready to go. And just one more thing, I do have a secret weapon just in case things do get a bit sticky, which is I do own a set of snow socks. So I'm hoping and anticipating the car will be able to get out of here, and then once it does, the roads look probably okay. It's just
the initial mile or so if need be. Snow socks to the rescue. Let's see how we get on. We're going to do this section at a speed I think is known nautically as dead slow. We do not want any momentum of any description because we have to make a right turn as we back through here. Oh, feel it.
For the second part of this video, I actually was going away on a business trip which got cancelled as my flight got delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed because they could not get the ice off the runway at Aberdeen Airport. I then had, let's just say, an extremely slippery drive back through a blizzard and then slid the car, very literally slid the car, down my driveway when I got back.
Well, this is fun. Oh dear me. This is going to be some drive back. It is blizzarding in a few places, but all the roads appear to be open, or at least the ones that I'm going on. I am in an all-wheel drive vehicle with snow-rated tyres, and I'm using off-road mode, so I am on locked four-wheel drive mode. I'm less concerned about my ability to have traction. I'm more concerned about the ability of other people to have traction, because there's plenty of people who are still out there on summer tyres, basically not going to have a good time. So let's see how we get on. Efficiency isn't really the aim on this kind of thing, but we're starting off on 44 miles since I set off yesterday, and we've just ticked through 300 watt hours per mile. Now, admittedly, the car is warming up at the moment, but we'll see whether that increases or decreases. Frankly, I don't really care about efficiency in these conditions. I want as many driven wheels as is physically possible. If we could fit more driven wheels to the car instead of just 4, I'd be up for that. Going up the slip road to join the A90 Aberdeen Western Peripheral. Yeah, it's a bit wintry. Let's see how we get on. It's got to be said though, traction feels absolutely fine as we go up. I mean, it's not the steepest bit of hill, but traction felt absolutely fine as we went up there, and it's obviously fairly slippery. So, you know, again, the right tyre, the right tools for the job. And we've got, well, what's this, sleet or something coming down, but the blizzard conditions that I've been advised are still blowing around in patches, I think are coming back in. Happy joy. This is going to be fun. So this isn't snow by the sound of it. This sounds more like hail or something. I don't know. It's quite firm. You can hear it going ping. No signs of slipping. Quite a tight bend with a grade, and it felt absolutely fine. Although it's now bouncing over chunks of snow. But never mind. I have just had the near miss of near misses with the car, including having to literally demolish this piece of wall because I got the car wedged onto it. smart arse Ian thinks, ah, All Season Tyres, they're very good. And you know what? They are. They came up the side lane without any problem. They started reversing into my driveway, which is here, without any problem. And then the plan was basically to stop and set up a charging station kind of here, except that it didn't want to stop and it slid. And then as I'm trying to come off the brakes, because I've got the steering lock over a little bit, because you can't come straight back, you have to turn to be able to go down there. Basically, I've got the steering lock a bit like that, and their car just slides and comes to rest with the wheel against, well, where the wall was, because it's not there anymore. So the wheel and the front corner of the front bumper have happily on a piece of black plastic. So what we then needed to do was basically start removing bricks so that we could essentially free the blockage. And the blockage being the wall. I then realised that I could drive the car forwards and past it, except that when I tried to go forwards and past it, it just slid a little bit further sideways. So the only thing to do was to start removing the corner of the wall, chunk by chunk. Happily, it was desperately in need of repointing and the bricks were pretty loose and frankly broken. So a bit of sledgehammer action and we're free. And then all we need to do is to slide, basically straighten the steering, because I had to have it at an angle initially, and then straighten the steering and then bring the car back. It still wanted to slide. So there it is, everybody. Even when you've got all-wheel drive and cross-climate tyres, there are certain points where ice and gravity basically mean you're going to have a bad time. Happily, the car barely has a mark on it. I mean, I'm talking about a little tiny nick on the plastic, and that's all on the car. So I've got away with it. Just. Right then, it is extraction day. The car has been sat here since Tuesday. It's now Sunday and it hasn't gone anywhere. It needs to come out because it's in use at 4 a.m. tomorrow. The thaw that we were hoping for hasn't come. So this is actually pretty solid. Well, I'm digging down there, right? You've got snow on top of ice. And it's not much better. This is reasonably thick. But again, it's snow on top of ice. Yeah. And then get up here. More snow on top of ice. And then my feet are slipping slightly as I go up there. And then you've got the little side lane, which again is actually not too bad at the bottom, but it's quite fun up here. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to warm the car up, and then I think we're going to stick the snow socks on. There isn't even a debate. The snow socks are going on. There's been quite a bit of commentary on recent videos talking about the off-road mode and whether it's a good idea or a bad idea, or whether the snow mode will kick in automatically. Well, in my experience, snow mode doesn't kick in. But what I do have are snow socks for the rear of the car, because frankly, having just had a walk up there, I fell over, right? I actually slipped over. Underneath this hard packed snow is even harder packed ice. So I'm going to use the snow socks to grip to get me out. So to put these on, basically stick it around the part of the tyre that you can get at, and then move the car slightly and then wrap it around the rest. Partly on. So I've just unplugged, but I look at this. Look at the state of this, and you see it breaking off. That is ice. So it's snow, but there's quite a bit of ice under there as well. Yeah, and that is the problem that we've got. Oh, those bricks were stuck on. Blimey. Right, I need to go, yeah, a little bit further back than that. That'll do it. Snow socks in position. Let's give this a whirl. Right then. Nice and slowly. Snow socks on the back. Ooh. You know what? It's still slippery. Staying well away from the wall. Yes. Well, it's out. Gosh. Now we need to reverse. And the reason for doing the multiple shunts is so that I'm not having to go on full lock. I do not want full lock as we go around here. Right. So, down we go, extremely slowly. I mean, I'm doing like 1 mile an hour, but that is all I really want to risk doing as I go down here. Ugh. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. So there's been a few comments about the use of off-road mode in a previous video. Well, all I can say is I've just come down this slope and I've got the snow socks on the rear because it's a predominantly rear-wheel drive car, and with the snow socks on the rear, I've then put the Test Logic app on. I can't do that and film at the same time, but I've put the Test Logic app on, and what have I found? It's front motor only. So what I am going to do to get out of here is to engage all-wheel drive by putting the off-road mode on. I need to get off the snow, across the tarmac, and then back onto snow to be able to park the car. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Snow Socks, which genuinely dug me out of a hole. I hope you've enjoyed this compilation of snow fun. Lots of people have been asking for it on the previous video, so I hope this has lived up to expectations. It all got very gnarly, is all I can say. It's not been fun at all, but we're out. Snow Socks saved the day. See you back here very soon on Just Get a Tesla.